That one was way more loud than I was expecting it to be. Hello, everyone. Hi. Dang it, too soon. No, that one was like, whoa, way too loud. Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. Happy Wednesday. We're back and we're here. Yee. Looks like you're listening to the song I put in music chat. Oh, wait. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. What's going on? What's new? I obviously was not live yesterday. My brother came over for a little bit. Did his laundry. Did everything that he needed to do. I completely edited, uploaded, and like thumbnailed a new video that'll be going live on Saturday for Stardew Valley. So it'll be a fun time out here. A fun time out here. How was everybody else's Tuesday? And how was everybody else's and today's Wednesday? I had a full day of work today. Yesterday I did not. Yesterday I was off at like 1 o'clock. Today I had a full day and I was done by like 3:15ish, and it was really nice. But I also got there earlier today. I was there at like 7:50. I almost said 7:15, 7:50, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at. You have your own laundry machines? I do have my own laundry machines. I have moved into my own new place. I did in April, May, probably April, around that time, right? And I've had my own laundry stuff since then. Hee. Hell yeah. Let me scooch closer. I feel like I'm so far away. Oh geez. Maybe that's why everything's so off-centered. It's because I was not scooch close enough. Hello. But hello, everyone. Let me scroll up. Jake, congrats on first. Hello. Yes, mod chaos is coming. We're doing all the mod things today. I'll explain it when we get into it in just a little bit. But hello, Jake. Hello, Cody. Welcome on in. Hello, Peyton. Welcome on in. Mel. Hello. Smillix. Hello. Big Finn, hello. You cursed and blessed me at the same time to listen to Barbra Streisand. It's a good time. It's a good time. You can't go wrong with it. All day. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Love that. Brandon, welcome on in. Hello, y'alls. Welcome. Bug Lobster, hello. Mr. Delm, hello. Mike, hello. Welcome on in, y'alls. Welcome on in. I didn't do anything interesting yesterday other than shitposting Devin and Sid's chat while they were playing Dead Space 3 together. Yes, I did see that. I was lurking in everyone's streams yesterday. I had to go in person today, sadly, but we had free pizza, which made up for it. Hey, I'll take the free pizza. Absolutely. And it was mac and cheese pizza. Oh, mac and cheese pizza is so good. Literally... so good. Especially if it's done right. We're rocking with the Celsius today. Because I was a little sleepy. So now we're rocking with it. Put a reserve on the place and do the application. But another leasing officer gave it to someone else, so I can't move in until 7th of December, and I'll have to live with my parents until then, unless I want to be homeless. Fair. I'm sorry. That does really kind of suck pain. However, if you think about it, December's way closer than you might think. December 7th is 2 months away. You got this. Hang in there. It's 2 months. It's 2 months. You can do it. I won't move into a place that doesn't have in-unit laundry. That's awful. I used to not have in-unit laundry. I used to have to go like downstairs and like down the hall to get to our laundry machines before, and it was awful. So now I love my in-unit laundry. Hi, Rachel. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I talked to with put a hold on it, and the other leasers saw and ignored it so they could get a commission bonus. Wow, that's rude. Truly rude. Favorite Halloween candy, favorite kind of drink. What do you mean kind of drink? My favorite, like, soda drink is Sprite. My favorite my favorite, like, alcoholic beverage is anything tequila based. My favorite Halloween candy, I like anything sour, or I like Kit Kats or Twix. Those are the biggest ones. So, yee! Ernesto, hello, welcome on in. G Money, hello, welcome on in too. Sue them. Pearl Harbor Day, day after my birthday. Oh, December 7th. Ah, yes. I got it. Got it. I was finally hyped to have a desk and start streaming, but I guess I gotta wait till December. It'll be worth it. You can have some time to get all your stuff together until then. Don't just jump into it and then do whatever you want to do. So. I rarely have Sprite, but that shit hits right when I'm in a mood. True. Get yourself a cold Sprite. It's got to be cold in particular. Get yourself a cold Sprite and you are absolutely good to go. Is December 7th your B-Day late? No, my birthday is in August. 13th of August. Yep. There you go. Have you ever tried a Naked and Famous? I have not, Windchild. I have no idea what that is, but okay. The denim / jean store. Naked and Famous? Really? Is that what that is? So what was December 7th? December 7th is when Peyton, aka P-Swizzle, could move into his new place. So the drink. Yeah, no, I've never heard of it. Tell me what it is. Of the drink, Windchild. I've never heard of it. The house. I've got the house to myself. So Lee is on the big screen today. Oh my goodness. I'm honored. I'm absolutely honored. I'm on the big screen. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, 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 do. I had a fairly decent day today. I saw all the patients that I needed to see swallow. Because that's a lot of what my caseload is right now, is just all of them having to swallow. Like, because none of them are eating very well. And then I did a bunch of paperwork. And that was it. It was a good time. It was a bunch of paperwork today, I will say that. But that was about it. I did test out all of these mods last night that we're going to be looking at here today. And some of them worked and some of them did not. So I had to get rid of all the ones that didn't work. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Some of them looked like they might not have worked, but also they kind of worked. So we'll try it. We'll try it out. Know of a Naked and Famous denim store because they opened up their only brick and mortar shop in New York, and my friend used to work there. Interesting. Interesting. There's 2 versions on the web. Interesting. It's called an apartment, but is multiple floors, so can I call it a condo? I don't know. But I mean, mine is technically an apartment building, but my place is a condo itself. Mine doesn't have multiple floors. I don't think floors makes it an apartment versus a condo. Maybe because you're leasing it? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you the difference between that. Somebody told me it was a townhouse, so I've been confused. Oh, geez. I don't know. If you count jeans made of milk. Oh, gosh. Hi, Ryan. Still in negotiations. We're in hour 10. Jeez, I'm so sorry, pal. I'm so sorry. I hope that they like actually listen to you and give you some shit because that's wild. Absolutely wild. It's a cocktail made of mezcal, yellow chartreuse, Aperol, and lime. It's really tasty. I've never had it. But it does sound pretty tasty. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a drink with yellow chartreuse in it before. I will say that. So I don't know exactly what that tastes like, but good to know. It is painful. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan. 10 houses used to have only 2 to 3 units per building. That's the main thing, I think. Yeah, I think so. I feel like townhouses are also more like house-like appearing. Slash not really a full like building. Like it doesn't look like an apartment building. So. Ryan, what is this? I love how you are still doing a channel prediction in stream while you are in negotiations with your current job. Is that a Junimo back there behind the pumpkin? It is. It is a little Junimo. It's so we have a pumpkin over there. I've got a little Junimo. I've got Crovis right there. Right here is the Twitch glitch, and then behind me there's a pillow that says trick or treat. And then even farther behind me is a hot dog. But I can't really turn because I have to sit so close to my desk and everything else. So there we are. Dude Ranch, hello! Thank you so much for the resub, pal. I really appreciate it. Welcome back on Into Love Loser Club for 9 months. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. And I hope you enjoy your continued sub badge and your continued use of emotes. I believe 9 months you get a new one, so get a new color. Get a nice little new color out there. I think it might be red. No, red is the extra long one. It's probably is it? No, it's not purple. I think there's a new one for 9. Potentially. Oh, there he is. I didn't even see Crovis. Yeah, he's hiding back there. Crovis do be hiding back there. That's true. Probably not. It's hard to find. It's medicinal when had alone, but it's a lovely background flavor otherwise. Ah, pretty cool. We're in different rooms and the mediator goes back and forth. Oh, goodness. Yikes. Just got a Genshin loot drop from a stream. Let's go. I was, you can get for West Hunt. There's drops for that one. I can confirm that. That one's pretty fun. And I think Marbles is also another one which you can get drops into. And it like gives you stuff in game. And I think that integration is really cool. I wish, you know how there was like Call to the Lamb has that like Twitch integration situation. I wish there was also like drops for that. Like I feel like you should get like a couple of coins or something. Like if you're watching a Cult of the Lamb stream, like you could get drops and then like that would translate to like what's it called? Like coins and things like that. Again? Oh my goodness. Another one? He blends in so well with the couch. Yeah. Crovis is, he's just blended in back there. Even though my couch behind me is blue, it's hard to tell in the lighting, but it's blue. It's blue. My desk chair is black and gray, and then lots of other stuff. So, yay, he left his lucky. Absolutely. Crovis is shy little guy. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Absolutely. I'm going to try and get everything set up here today. I will show you what we're working with. Let me make sure that none of these things dox me first. It does not, so we're okay. I have in one folder, this is my Stardew Valley mods folder. In this other folder over here, I have the numbered mods. Are there technically like 30 something? Yes. Are they all, these ones are all working, but like it goes like from 2 to 5 because 3 and 4 did not work. And then 15 didn't work. 22 didn't work. 28, 29 didn't work. And 31 didn't work. And then I think there was also 34 too. And all those didn't work. So that's how that's going to work. I'm going to get some things rearranged here. Because I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like pause my timer. And then when the timer is paused, right, I have to like exit out of the game and then transfer the folder to the other folder and then relaunch the game. So we'll see how long it'll take me in between each one. But we'll just cut it out. Otherwise. There we are. I know, I have to do a little. Gotta do. Like, you doxed me once, you had my email for the giveaway, came to my house and trashed it saying no one will ever believe you. I did not, Jake. I did not. Which, speaking of which, you got the giveaway prize, so. It did already come in the mail for you, which is pretty pog. I will say that as soon that same night, or I think I might have sent it Saturday morning. Like I sent them your email Saturday morning. So I'm glad that they got in contact with you pretty fast, which was really nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So shout out Potion Permit for letting us run that little giveaway before. Well, come on in. Is it Tweth? The TW and the TH at the end is confusing me. Tweth? Thank you so much for popping on in. Hello. Enjoy your sleeps. I cannot imitate the transition sound out loud when it comes up. The transition sound? Is there a sound? Is there a sound when it transitions? Like a small bouncing noise? I've literally never heard this transition. I don't hear it at all. You didn't know there's a sound? No, I didn't know that there's a sound. I can't hear it. Wait, let me see. Let me see if I turn this off, if I can hear it. No, I get nothing. Pull up your own stream and do it? Okay. We'll do it and then we're going to hop into it because we'll see how long this is going to take me. Channel. Sorry, you're going to hear like 50 of me for the next 2 seconds. Oh my goodness! I didn't even realize that sound made a thing. That's so cool. I kind of like it. I really like it. Oh my goodness. The gas was hella loud. I'm sorry. I've repositioned my microphone so that I am louder speaking because I realized that in some of my recordings I'm pretty quiet. So that's how it be. That's how it be. But very happy about that. Alrighty, everyone. Let's get into it. Okay, so if you do not know what we're doing here today, we are doing Stardew Valley, but I add a new mod every 10 minutes. Essentially, the goal for today is that I'm going to try and complete as much of the community center as I can out here. I want to complete as much of the community center as I can, but at least 2 rooms of the community center. the mods that I will be adding in will either change the gameplay in some format, will change the characters, or will change something about the game, but it affects absolutely nothing. So we shall see how this works out together. But essentially every 10 minutes I will be pausing my game, exiting out, changing the mods around, and seeing what kind of chaos we can add in. I don't have the mod list, like, listed out. I do, but I don't have it open, like, while I'm streaming right now. All I have is the files numbered in what order I'm supposed to go in. And the list was randomized before I numbered them, so who knows? I did this last night and I don't remember which ones I put in which folders, so we'll see what we get. Alrighty, let me open it up, and I'm gonna add in. We are starting with our very first mod. I don't know what it's gonna be, so I'm just gonna add in folder 1 first. Hi Blink, welcome on in. And hello Devin, welcome on in. I was gonna say, I believe I have this here. Where's all the little Spotify ones? Yeah. We'll see what we got. I don't remember what we got. I saw one thing of red. This is the one thing that I'm concerned about. Because there's another sound changing one. Oh, jeez, that was so loud. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alrighty, starting up a brand new file here. Starting up a brand new modded file. I'm always going with the forest farm. And we are actually going to make my character here. If you want to know how to make my character, it's really easy and it's really fast. It is shirt 80, black pants, and dark hair with blue eyes. Normal community center stuff. Just going to add in some cabins just in case. And let's see if we can figure out how this mod works. But as much as the community center as we can do by the time stream ends. So in the next 2.5 hours. So 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry. It did. Oh, shoot, the loading time. Not the loading time, taking forever. It's gonna be 10 minutes by the time we just get into the game. I forgot that the loading time was gonna kill me each one. Saving. Did I hit skip? Just kidding. Smappy said bet no. Smappy said no. Okay, retry. Retry. Retry, besties. You're already in the red on your splits. But that's because I'm in the red on my splits because it's just how it decided to work. Alrighty. Jade Pixel, hello, welcome on in. Zachary, hello. Hello, Vicky, welcome on in. Oh. Okay, take 2. I hope my mod doesn't break shit. I mean, Devin, I'm pretty sure yours is the one that's in the red. It's the sound effect replacement one. That is red. Here we go. Alrighty, take 2. Because it's not uploaded? No, it's like the actual sound effect replacement thing. Not your file. It's the replacement one. Because it's interacting with another one that I have. I think. We'll see. Oh, we did it! Oh, shoot. Okay, I gotta go back because guess what? I have to make my character again. Let's try this again. Oh, it's not a marriage farm. I would have hated it if I had, if I had forgotten to hit skip on this. That would have been really bad. Okay, starting cabins. Thank you. Let's try this one more time. Torrance, hello, welcome on in. Hang on. We're in an ad right now, so we'll wait. It's like 50 seconds, so. Being respectful for those that are having to sit through an ad. What if we didn't skip the intro? We will be skipping the intro because I didn't add any of the intro mods in because it wasn't a part of it. Back from the ad? Okay, good. Cool beans, because that's what I was waiting on. 3, 2, 1, here we go. I hit the back button instead of doing that. Never mind. Will I ever actually get into the game? Who knows? Jeez. I'm sorry. Take 3. Okay. We'll get it one of these days. And 3, 2, 1. Got it. Lee purposely messes up for 2.5 hours. No. No. Wow, launch the game is harder than I thought. Okay. The only ones that I kept were like the UI info suite ones. And things along those lines. I don't know what the mod is that I added. I hope y'all know that. Is that I have to discover what these mods are. That we added in. Oh, shoot. I restarted my computer, so I turned animation canceling off. Damn it. I'm going to have to, when I add the next mod in, someone remind me to turn my animation canceling on. Because by the time I get to the mines, this is going to be so painful. If Lee had chat on screen, we could tell YouTube the truth. How this isn't the first take? I'll just leave it in. And no animation canceling in. You can hit Windows key and search it real quick. It won't work. I mean, it might work, but I don't want to jinx it because I don't want this to go down. It already went down once. I don't need it to go down again. Alright, we are 2 minutes into the first mod. I think I'm gonna go into the town just to see. Unless Alt-tabbing crashes the game. Yeah, I don't know. I am gonna go into town here to see what mod we ended up with. Okay, got ourselves a chest. We're starting out like any typical speedrun. Except I also forgot to water my crops. I'm aiming for the crafts room and the boiler room to be finished, as well as maybe a couple of bundles within the pantry or the other one. Maybe the fish one too. The fish one is probably going to be the hardest, I want to say. But we shall see. I didn't add in like the randomizer one or anything because it'll I didn't want to destroy my gameplay so much with this first attempt at this, but we'll see. Oh, hey, spray shoots. Nice. Very nice. How can you tell what mod it is? That's the issue, is that I can't. So is there a goal going on? Or is this how? No. So the goal is for me to complete as much of the community center as I can within today's stream. I'm just gonna head down to the beach. See if there's anything funky going on. I haven't seen any characters yet. I think I figured out which one it is. This is Mayor Lewis. It's the Straw Dew Valley mod. Not the straws. Damn it. Look at Penny. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is gonna be a mess. Okay, well. Go find George. Okay, I'll go back into the town. There was Leah right there. I'll find George. I'll find George. There's Sam. This is definitely Haley. There's no way that's not Haley. Well, look at them walk from side to side. Look at their hips. Oh, you can't even see Sam here. Sam looks like a penne pasta. But look at his hips go. Look at his hips go. Jeez. Alrighty. Okay. Wait. Who am I looking for? George? There's Alex. Alex looks like a ladder. Oh, he's a clear bendy straw with a hat with a lid. Oh, no, not George. Oh, man. George's face, this straw isn't even on his real face. How about Evelyn's? Evelyn is bent. Oh, no. Okay, that's Marnie. Interesting. That's Harvey with his mustache and his face taped on. Love it. But yeah, there we go. Alrighty, as I said before, right? Some of these mods aren't gonna do anything. Some of these mods just change the characters a bit. And some of them, you know, change the actual gameplay going on here. So we're gonna kind of quickly scoot along here because we're trying to complete parts of the community center. And I know that I have to go fast. So we'll see. Some of these mods might awaken something in you. I don't know about that. Some of them I added, some of them I did not add from y'all's suggestions in the Discord. So, you shall see. Alrighty, skipping this day. I want the parsnips to be down. All of the mods are safe for work. And, like, not, you know, not sus. Okay, we're at 7 minutes so far. I hate that the traveling cart merchant picture is literally turned into a straw. I hate that. Okay. I'm gonna go foraging behind up here. And then we'll see how this goes. See what we can collect. And I'm gonna keep one parsnip for the community center. And then I'm going to buy one of every crop. And hopefully that gets us some money. Well, it's part of the pantry bundle is what I'm really trying to get at here. The mines are now open, but I'm not going to go into the mines today. I'm going to go into the mines on the next one. It worked the first time, Devin. Bum, ba, bum. So we're going to open up the community center. Then I'm going to go grab some crops and everything else. And then we will head to the mines on the next good luck day and also be, what's it called? Be attempting to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. All right, community center. Skip. Alrighty, gotta go read the scroll and then we head back down. Let's see if we can get ourselves into Pierre's before I have to add in another mod. The other challenging thing about this is that once I hit 10 minutes, I have to run back home. So, just gonna finish out the day. I don't know what the second one is gonna be at all. I have absolutely no idea. No idea what we're gonna end up with. But here we go. I'm gonna quickly do this. Sell this. Sell all of these but one. Give me a bean, give me a cauliflower, give me a potato. I don't think I'm gonna have the garden bundle or anything like that because I didn't do remixed. And I'm running home. I'm running home. Hi, Slothy, welcome on in. What's the mod that shows the XP and the luck day? Oh, yes, UI info suite. So I kept those on. Those are like standard mods. So. Okay, quickly just gonna plant this. And water them, and then we'll add in the next mod. There we go. Save and sleep. Pause. Timer. Exit to title. Exit out of that. Here we go. Mods. Mods. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Animation cancel, thank you. Run script. Listen, baby. I got it. Hee, I saw. Alrighty, now we wait for it to load. The timer is paused. I'll start the timer back on once we get into the game again. And then we'll go from there. Are those three people in your background all the same color? You mean my desktop background? My desktop background is Jack Antonoff from Bleachers. And it's the band Bleachers. They are not the same person. Alrighty, we're in. Oh, I just realized that I left an apostrophe in, so it is modded apostrophe. One. Here we go. Alrighty, another day. Oh, I need to check the mines luck. Oh, it's a bad luck day. Never mind, I will not be going to the mines today. I will, however, go down to this area and forage real fast, because I realized that the only thing that I don't have, I'm also going to go and open up the community center, and go grab my fishing rod at the same time. The only ones, oh, I also don't have a, I don't have a lot of forage so far. Jeez, that sucks. I'll check the left side of the farm too, but I think we could probably find it down here. Yep, there's the dandelion. And I just need a wild horseradish, and then we can complete our first little bundle. Can't wait to see the wizard. Oh my god, I forgot about the wizard. I absolutely forgot about the wizard. Wizard incredible. Look at that. Wow, it's like a glass straw. Jeez. Alrighty. I'm also going to take that $100 because we're going to need it. Oh, I forgot yesterday that we should also be checking the cart for quite a few things. I have not figured out what this new mod is. I added in a new mod. Our second mod is already in. Mod number 2. I don't remember what it is. And I don't know what it is. Who is that? Willy! It's a fish at the top of his straw. Oh, geez. Did we see Lionel? Lionel? Linus? No, we have not. We have not yet. I've not gone up that way because I have not gone to the mines yet. I'm just going to quickly go grab my fishing rod and then also complete the first community center bundle, and then we will we'll be good to go. But I believe I also have 3 items for the crab pot bundle already, so that's pretty good. It is pretty good, pretty good. I will say that some of these mods are going to help me in completing the community center, and some of them are going to hurt me quite a bit. Other ones are just fun visual mods, like the straw ones and a couple other. Okay. In this way we go. Spring. Grab the spring seeds. Me checking the pantry bundle as if I don't know what's already in here. Quality crops. Same old, same old. It is a Saturday, so I will actually run to Pierre's. And also grab me some more parsnips real fast. And see where that takes me. Pain or pleasure? Only time will tell when the mods are loaded. Absolutely. The fishing sound? Pierre. Of course, he's like the most basic. Alrighty. We picked up 25 parsnips. We're going to hope for the best here. I believe I can also make a scarecrow, so I think I'm going to do that too real fast. And then we will sleep. And water. And then once we get a good luck on the mines day, we should be good to go. Wait, hold up. Did y'all see that? Hang on, hang on. Am I losing it? Did y'all see this? Watch the shipping bin real fast. I'm gonna zoom in. Is that Morris? Am I losing it? Was that Morris? What if I saw one more? I think that's fucking Morris. Oh no! I got Morris in my shipping bin now. Goodness gracious. No. Oh, well, okay. Sure. I guess that's the direction that we're going in with this one. Okay, cool. And we will do the rest of these seeds here. I should be able to water these ones really fast because our animation canceling is back on, so no more painful watering. And then we shall see what's going on. That's definitely Morris. I love this. Oh, geez. All of a sudden, I just saw a hand off the top, and I was very confused as to what was going on. But that's definitely Morris. 5, stop. I love that emote. Okay, let me quickly make a scarecrow here, and then I'm gonna put some fertilizer on these crops. Do that. Let's put some fertilizer on the parsnips here, because we need 5 golden parsnips. I don't know how long it's gonna take us. We'll see. Throw everything else back in here, except for this and the watering can, and then we sleep until we get a good luck day, or we don't have to water anymore. Okay, we got some more money on us too from those mixed seeds. We got a rain day. It's Lewis's birthday. I do need to check the traveling cart. I am going to move this closer because we will be reminded about the recipes. It's a rain day, but I am going to run down to the traveling cart just in case we can find something that we need for the community center. I don't have it on remix bundles, so I already know like essentially everything that's going to be in here. Unless a new mod gets added and something changes. So we'll see. We shall see. Alrighty, traveling cart lady, give me something good. Tulip, gold ore. Give me an eel, thank you. Of course a cauliflower, but I'm already growing one of those, so I don't need that. We're good to go. But I will take an eel. Because the fishing stuff is probably going to be the worst aspect of it. Because I just don't have time to sit around and fish. Because the fishing bundle alone will make me do like an hour and a half. So, we'll see. Put that in there. Good to go. Sleep. We'll see if we can actually, if we can get through some things here. Yeah, it's a bad luck day again. I don't think we're going to be able to get to the mines. Before I add in the 3rd mod, which is actually mod number 5, because 3 and 4 did not work. Because I tested them last night. Alrighty. Here's the next little one. See if we can, okay, the day is in your hand, so it's probably a neutral day, so I'm going to quickly water, and then after I water, we're going to add in the next mod. Open for gold parsnips on the next day. And time. Here we go. I should just exit to desktop each time. Okay. Here comes mod number 5. I truly do not know which one we are adding in out here. And it might also be the case where some mods won't make sense until later on. So we'll see if it actually makes a difference or not. Oh, I see which one this is. fish to seed processor. So we'll see. We shall see. That's part of the fun. Fish what? Fish to seed. Fish to seed processor. Hi, Amy. Welcome on in. Alrighty, load it up here. I mean, I guess this also kind of prepares me. Are there mods that do similar things, like Stardew Valley and Dwarf? No. So for example, now that we have Stardew Valley, no other ones are going to change the characters because they all would interact with each other. I think. No, there might be a few of them that are okay. Other ones, not so much. Oh, shoot. I wasn't supposed to click off. There we go. Okay, we're in. Oh, there's a dish today. Who is this? Oh, it's Marnie. Marnie with the cat. We'll see. I will take the cat. Momo. Momo for mod. Name the cat. Oh, I should have done that. I was just thinking of mods, so I just added. I made it Momo. Alrighty, I'm gonna harvest all these, and then we will see what we got. Of course, I will probably have no golden parsnips, so I will go and buy some more on another day. Queen of Sauce. I love how the Queen of Sauce is also a straw. This is okay. What do we have? Community center, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. Quality crops, exotic foraging. Great. While I wait for PRs to open really fast, I'm going to quickly go to the left side of the farm. And grab as much of the forage as we can. Is this morel in the exotic foraging? I haven't done a... Bessies, I haven't done a pantry run in forever. Not a pantry run, a crafts room run in forever. It is. Okay, cool. So at least we can go and add that into the community center. Maybe we do a little bit of fishing. I'm gonna go, we'll fish in the middle pond. Maybe we can get a wood skip real fast. We'll try it out here. You never know, right? You never know. Fishing. Give me the fish bundle. Okay. Now we just fish. We'll see what we can get here. Is this a sunfish, please? Or maybe it's not a sunfish. It is a sunfish. Cool. How about a fun little wood skip? First try. First try wood skip. Nope. First try wood skip. Peyton, you can fish without the circles being there. You know that, right? Okay, one more attempt. One more attempt out here, and then I will see what we can do. I have to go sell stuff and drop things off at the community center and then sleep. Give me fish. Damn it. Okay, run. I am saving the Georgia Claw. For one reason and one other reason only. Give me this. Oh, I shouldn't have sold that driftwood, but it's fine. Alrighty, next little bit. This music is banging. Yeah, we haven't listened to this playlist in a hot minute. Haven't listened to this playlist in a hot minute. It's closed on Wednesdays. I waited all that time just for me to realize that it's closed on Wednesdays. So I'm going to quickly drop this off at the community center and then go from there. Because I didn't even look and see what day it was. Love that for me. Love that for me. Nighttime fishing, give him that one, and then the river fish. And then let's go over here. Let's go drop that off. Is this the OG playlist? It's the OG Nintendo playlist, yes. Drop this off. I'm just gonna go sell these in the bucket. Thank you to anyone that has followed during the stream. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in, y'alls. My name is Lee, if you don't know who I am, so. It's nice to meet y'alls. Playlist? The playlist we might have. It might just be under something else. Or it might have been deleted. It might be under, like, Nintendo or something. My cat loves your stream release. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Hydrate, hello. Welcome on in. Also, I thought I saw Azira. Welcome on in, too. Hello. Can I save those for the mines? Yep, there's Morris. Alrighty, so far, our 2 mods that we have acquired are... Oh, I actually need all that trash. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have sold it. It's fine. When we go fishing again, we'll probably acquire more trash. We have gotten Strawdew Valley. We have gotten... what was the second one? Oh, the Morris in the sales box, and then the third one is called Seed to Processor. Okay, there's another one for the community center, so thank you. That is done. I read the mail. Don't need that. Anything else? I'm gonna fish real fast before I go and buy more parsnips because we need those gold parsnips. And then we'll go from there. Thank y'all for the follows. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. Hi, Josh. Welcome on in. This looks fun. Yeah, I'm adding in a new mod every 10 minutes, and I don't know what mods I'm adding in, so we'll see. And at least when we fish here, we can get trash, which helps with the seed to processor one. So the fish to processor. Because I think with the fish to processor one, you can put fish in there, and then it turns into seeds. Supposedly. So we'll take a look at it. Okay. 7:30, we have until 9 a.m. to when I can buy seeds from Pierre. And then I feel like probably after this day, we have to add in the third one. I'm trying to catch a wood skip here because we have some time. And then we're hoping for the best. And I might also check the trash cans around town. Let's see, can we get it? Taking an awfully long time. No. One last one. One last go. Please. Fish, 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 fish. Please give me a fish. I don't know if this is the fish that I want. I don't think it is. I think this is just an easy fish. Yep. It's a smallmouth bass. Never mind. Move along. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, community center quickly. Not even community center. I'm gonna quickly run to Pierre's, grab a bunch more of the parsnip seeds, and then we will go from there. Also checking the trash in town. Because of course. Hello, Pierre. Screw you for not being open yesterday. Here's another 25 parsnips. Hopefully that gives me a gold one. Give me trash, please. Actually, I want trash. For once, I do want trash in these trash bins. Okay, we're officially at 30 minutes, so I'm gonna quickly head home and then grab our. I'm gonna plant these parsnip seeds and then we're gonna add in the new mod. Why do you want trash? Because the fish to processor requires trash. So I need broken glasses and a soggy newspaper still. Hehe. It's one of the mods. Give me the hoe. We'll see if we can get some gold ones here. I don't know how that worked out. Oh, I missed one. That is why. I was like, wow, it looks pretty even. And then I realized I missed one on a one that is fertilized. So, fun. I might place a mix seed on that one instead now. Because I think we have one. So we take the mix seed, place it. I think that's another parsnip. It is. So we're good to go. Alrighty, sleep in. Sleep to save. 4. Okay, here we go. Exited desktop. Let's add in a brand new mod now. Bum, bum. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. Anyone that's just followed. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello, Raiders. As I'm adding in our new mod here. Welcome on in. Hello, Raiders. My name is Lee. It's nice to meet yous. Hello. K Bacon, thank you so much for the raid and for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome on in, y'alls. I hope y'alls are all having a wonderful day today. How was your stream? What were you... The Backrooms game. I've never heard of that. Incredible. What's shaking? Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. I can't do a new shout out on mobile. I don't know. I don't know how to, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it either. Oh, slash, is it slash? Oh, wait, let's see. Did I do it? Was that it? Oh. Oh, it's going to pop up on some screen. Cool. There we go. Very nice. But welcome on in, Raiders. Hello, my name is Lee. My pronouns are she, her. While I wait for this to load in. You're coming in right at a good time, because we are just transitioning to add in a new mod. But again, my name is Lee. My pronouns are she, her. I play a lot of Stardew Valley around here, and particularly I like to speedrun Stardew Valley. Today is a special stream. We are doing Stardew Valley, but I add in a mod every 10 minutes. So we are on our 4th mod right now. So, and again, thank you so much for the raid. I truly appreciate it. I have a tradition of saying this around here. Hot people, raid and run. So if you need to go and take care of yourself, K-Bacon, please make sure to go and do so. And thank you so much for bringing your friends over to hang out with me. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Thank you for the alerts. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate it. Now we play the loading game. I hope that this mod works. I think that this mod works. I don't know which one this is. We'll see. Okay. Okay, I gotta go check the traveling merchant and see what else we got going on. And thank y'all all so much for all the follows. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all are all having a wonderful day today. Thank you. Got it. I remember the timer this time. Just read your about me. You're a speech language pathologist. That's so cool. Yes, I am. IRL, that is what I do. I'm a speech therapist. I work with adults in rehab. So when I'm not being my often chaotic self here on the internet, I am talking to old people. I'm taking a coconut. And none of this I need, so we're good to go. But I am taking a coconut for the exotic foraging bundle. So it is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. I'm good now going back to sleep because it says the day is in your hands. So we have not had a really good Minds Day so far. And we're going to hope that we can get a good Minds Day here in the future. Fingers crossed. Alrighty. This is a Saturday. It says maybe we should stay home today. It is the Egg Festival. I don't think we need to go to the Egg Festival for anything. Oh, unless we wanted to get strawberries for money. But we don't have a lot of money stuff right now. So I think I'm just gonna skip out on the Egg Festival and we can try our best another day. Strawberry? Can we go just, you know what? Sure. I'll take some time to chop down a bunch of wood at least. To finish that part of the community center. Sure. Vicky, you made one comment and you convinced me. Good job watering that tree. Thank you. Thank you. I'm pretty good at watering things that don't need to be watered, such as rocks and trees. So, there's that. I'm also going to forage on the left-hand side of the farm, too. Devin, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Vicky. I really appreciate it. Vicky, welcome on into Lovely Loser Club. I hope you enjoy your new sub badge and your new emotes courtesy of Devin. Enjoy your ad-free viewing as well. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Jay, have fun. Welcome on in. Have a good day. And what are you doing in my swamp? What? Thank you for the 100 bits, Vicky. I appreciate it. Also, I can't remember if I said this before, but also Amy, thank you so much for the I have no energy. I wonder if I can make it. We're gonna take one look. Oh, jeez. Oh, nope. Alrighty, we get one look and then I gotta exit. There's Vincent with the striped one. Jazz has got a bow on. Oh, I changed my camera. Diggity, thank you for the bit. Peyton, thank you for the 200 bits. I appreciate it, y'all. Here we go. Perfect. I always forget about the shades. Me too. That's the problem. Is I always forget about the shades. Alrighty. Okay, traveling merchant is in town. We do have a good luck day, but I have no energy, so that's a problem. It's like Buddy Holly. Oh, and you're Mary Tyler Moore. Change my state of mind. Love so hard to find. We have 50 coins. I'm going to quickly run down to the traveling cart, see if there's anything that we truly need down there. And if there is, I will go and run and grab some other stuff. Shy is a fly guy. Thank you so much for the 200 bits as well. I really appreciate that. Thank y'all for the hype train too. I was hoping that y'all wouldn't find that one. I might have to turn the volume up on that one. Oh, it's just frozen. I didn't know how long it was going to last. That's why. Anything we need in here? Oh, a cave carrot for 100. That would be nice. But I'll just go to the mines and I'll save it on another day. So we're just going to sleep. It's just frozen. There we go. Haynes, what the fuck? Hydrate, thank you for the 99 bits and thank you for the extra 50 bits too. I appreciate it, y'all. Okay. Sleeping. We'll see how much energy we have going into the... I meant how much stuff we have. What the luck is. We can find salmon berries today, but we'll see. Good soup. Alrighty, let's see how many of these lovely ones that we have. How many gold ones we can get. Probably none. Knowing my luck. Oh, look at that. One gold. Love it. I am going to sell the rest of them, and then I'm just going to water these bad boys. And then I will go to sleep once more. We're just going to sleep, and then once we get a good luck day. If this next day is a good luck day, I'm going to quickly add in the next mod, and then we'll see. Yep, okay. She hit the floor, and sing you know, shawty ga la la la. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can't do anything yet. Okay. Oops. Shawty got low, hit the floor. The next thing you know, shawty got low, low, low. Alrighty, we are adding in the next mod here. Number 7. We never figured out what mod number 6 did, which was technically mod something else. Oh, I lost my mod folder. Hold up. Open a new window. There we go. We have now added in our 5th mod so far. We shall see. I'm trying not to read this smappy screen. We shall see. We shall see. Some of the mods, you know, we have no idea if they're even going to need to come into play. Thank you for the crab rave. I appreciate it. Gabe, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. Why don't we have any quotes? We probably should have quotes. I just have to figure out how to set it up. Okay, here we go. Timer this time. And this time we are going to the mines. So here we go. I'm selling all of this. I'm taking this to the mines with me, as well as many of the salmon berries that I can find. Oh, there was a dandelion back there. Cool. Here we go. But it's a very good luck day, so that is why we are headed to the mines. And we have a good amount of forage. So hopefully I'll be able to make it pretty far into the mines today. So we don't have to go too far. I hope we figure out what this one mod is. I hope it didn't, like, do something to any of my bundles or anything either. Oh, that was Marlin. Okay, well, hope you caught him. He just had an eye patch on, so... I do need that for the community center. Hoping maybe that would give me a ladder. It did not. Nope. How about a ladder down here? Nope. Ladder, please, and thank you. Now, please give me ladder. Goodness. Goodness, 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 goodness. You get to see how bad my mind skills truly are. Is there a freebie? I am looking for a cave carrot too, just because I need one. Oh, there's the ladder. Nice. And there's the next ladder. Essentially, we're just looking for community center items out here, if we can. And to get farther into, essentially as far as we can into the mines. So we'll see. I'm aiming for at least level 30 with how much food and stuff we have on us right now. As long as the slimes and stuff don't kill me. And I would also like level 1. Cool. Beautiful. Okay, another one. Cool. Got it. I don't want sap. I really don't care for sap. I would love an upgraded weapon at any point in time. I don't think I remixed the mines either, so I think on level 10 it's just gonna be the basic sword, which is gonna be really unfortunate for me, who is like so close to dying just by this. Okay, let's eat the bear leek, and then we can go to the horseradish ones next, so that I don't die. But ideally, we finish our mines day, and then I can add us another mod in after. Oh, I am gonna need those hardwoods. So if I can do that, if I can get 10 hardwoods without having to upgrade my axe, that would be ideal. Oh, it was leather boots, so never mind. Cool. Love that for me. Oh, nice. Alrighty. This one at the end is going to give me coal, and I need the coal, so here we go. Here we go. Oh, more coal. Give me that. As much copper as we can get. I also need that, too. Alrighty, what can I eat? Some dandelions? To increase my energy here. Okay, give me this. I also need to see what that is. That's an aquamarine. I am going to need that too. Cool. I think the inventory space is going to be the hardest part of this whole thing. Because we're gonna run out of space quickly. Like we already have. Maybe it'll just make me hit a bunch of rocks instead. Probably this floor. I'm gonna jinx myself and have to hit a bunch of rocks on this floor, and then... Oh, nope, there we go. Cool. And we'll just see where it gets us. Alrighty, mines time. I know I used to say that I hated the mines, but let me tell you, I'm starting to really like it. Now that I've gotten good at animation canceling, I like it a lot more in the mines than prior. I don't know all the secrets of the mines and things like that yet. Like, if you hit a rock here, it like won't spawn. Like, the ladder definitely won't be spawned at this one spot. But I'm still getting used to it. And I'm still getting used to liking it. But now that I've just gotten better at it, I feel like I like it a lot more. Okay, cool. I will fight off this bug with a rusty sword. Here we go. Oh, nice. Okay, I made it that level. Let's eat a leek here because we are all out of energy. I see that there is a freebie over there to the left. Gonna quickly go do that. And here we go. This is what happens when you hopefully get a good luck day. Small steel sword. Still painful. But again, I was aiming for at least floor 30 here today. So we'll see. We just have so much. Okay, don't murder me, please, slime. I need to go right behind you. I might just refuel a bunch, and then we'll see. Gabe, you know I won't be able to do that right now. So, let's eat this parsnips so we can get rid of a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna eat my 5 parsnips, and then we'll hopefully get some. I'll pick up the gem. I don't need the gem, that gem. I'll pick it up because I don't want to get a geode. I don't want to get a geode here. Okay, cool. I haven't been able to hit this thing once. Come on. Alrighty, and then as soon as we finish this mine day here, I'll add in the next mod. Cool. Love that for me. Racing to this end. Hopefully I can get a better sword. You never know. This one might be delayed because of the mines, but you can blame it on, I'm going to blame it on the mines this time. I don't have the save anywhere mod or anything along those lines, so I don't want to, I can get rid of that. Give me a cave carrot, because I do need the cave carrot. There is a forest sword right there. Give me that-ish, please. I almost missed it. Oh, yes, ladder right at the end. Okay, we're at 25. We're at 50 minutes. I am going to push for 30, and then as soon as I get to 30, we'll stop and we'll pass out. Or I might just pass out now. Yeah, we'll pass out now. And then we add in our next mod. Pretty good stuff. Alrighty. We made it through one day there. And exit to desktop. Add in our next mod here. Number 8. I have no idea what this one is, so here we go. It is labeled mod number 8. I think this is our 6th one total. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. I hope it's okay. I still have a lot of time left to go. The fact that it is already getting close enough to 8 p.m. is starting to scare me, because I'm going to have to start skipping a lot of stuff. But I don't know. Maybe I'll extend the timer a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. Just because of all the load times and things like that. No 24-hour stream. No. No, no. No, no. All right. Well, we're waiting. Yes. Got it. Late 24-hour stream. No. Okay, here we go. And time. Oh, okay. Well, there's Clint. Clint is a steel straw. It changed our actual farm. Okay, cool. I want those stone back, and I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna put the hardwood in here, because I'm gonna craft one of these now. Give me the first level of that. Grab that, grab this. Let's grab our watering can. And then after we do that, I think I might head back to the mines there. What was the mod? I think it's like a hippie trailer. I think this is one that Shania sent me. They sent me some pretty good mods, I will say. Where? Potato? Okay, I have the cauliflower, so I can finish that in the community center. I'm gonna go drop that off at the community center. What's something that I don't need yet? I won't need that yet. I will need this. Come on, copper bar. Speed it up, please. There we go. Alrighty. Gonna run to the community center, drop stuff off, and then we'll see what we got. Yeah, we got a trailer, or like I think it's like a hippie thing was that it was entitled. It's pretty cool. I think it gets prettier once you upgrade your house. So there is that. I will say that the kitchen looks a little sus over here to the left. I wonder if that mod got added in. I think there might be a mod that adds in the kitchen bundle. Which is... oh, I forgot that it was in existence. One of each of those. And then I'm gonna run and drop those off over here. Summer, we can use some of that speed grow. We are running, we are sprinting to the mines. I don't want that. I want this and this. And then I want the blacksmith bundle. Alrighty. Let's try and quickly get some of those mines things done. Because it is still a good luck day. And I want to use up as much good luck as we can. And then after that, I think we sleep all the way until summertime. Because I don't think I'm going to get the quality crops bundle at all in the time that we have allotted. So I think that we make best do with the crafts room, and we make best do with our mines here. And then maybe also some fishing in between. Here we go. Back down to 25. Sophia, hello! Welcome on in. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you all are all doing well. Oh, I forgot that I can make bombs now, and I didn't bring any of that stuff. I also had a full inventory at that time, so I'm going to blame it on that. There we go. Bum, bum. I have to raid and run. No worries. You go take care of yourself. Thank you so much for bringing your friends over to hang out with me. I appreciate it. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay. Here we go. More mines time out here. Okay. Maybe don't start to use your speed grow in the middle of the mines. It's probably not the best idea. Probably. I wonder if you could use your speed grow in the middle of the mines. Thoughts? I feel like yes. I feel like you probably could, but it would be a waste. So, probably wouldn't want to do that at all. Da-da-da. I'm going for the coal cart down here because then at least we can make some more bombs and whatever else we can. Okay. No ladder so far as I can tell. Unless there's a freebie somewhere and I just can't see it. I hate going down that space. Let's see. Nope, no running away, please. Okay, at least we leveled up combat. Cool. That one injured me, unfortunately. Can we get a ladder? Please. Please and thank you. Please, can I get a ladder? Requesting a ladder ASAP. I swear I have definitely killed enough bugs on this floor in order to get a ladder. There's no way. I haven't gotten enough. Oh my god. We're eating the salmon berry. I'm literally only on floor 28 and it's already almost been another 10 minutes before I have to add on to another thing. Literally, no. Where is it? Besties. I don't want to have to hit the double rocks. I hate hitting the double rocks. I mean, like, I know that there's still rocks down here, but... Oh, rude. I just want some iron. That's it. Get us to the iron floors, please. It's a good luck day. Okay, I'm gonna eat a leek because it's gonna give us more energy than the salmon berries. I can't see if there's a ladder or not. There is. Okay, cool. Got it, got it, got it. Nothing. Nothing useful. Going left. We're going left. There's an Omni Geode that may or may not be useful. I don't know what I'd get rid of. Probably this. You never know. It could be useful later in the run when I'm struggling. Like I am right now. Jeez. Like we are right now in the dark trying to find this ladder. I do need these bat wings too. So maybe I'll... Okay, there's this. Can you give me bat wings? Thank you. Maybe we drop... maybe I quickly eat these 2 cave carrots. What's the goal for the overall run? The goal is to complete as much of the community center as I can. So I'm trying to get as many bundles as possible here. Specifically... Oh, there's a red mushroom. I also need that for the community center. I'm getting rid of the geodes now. Specifically... Oh, hey, that's not too bad. 35. Made it down 10 floors. I will go until I pass out. And we'll see. Hopefully we can get to 40 here. But we are, for the entirety of the rest of the stream here tonight, we will be doing our best to, Did it give me an exit? No. I thought it had given me a ladder. It did not. Darn. I just can't see in the dark. So I'm just going to come down to this way and hopefully somewhere along the lines it gives me a ladder. Somewhere in the light it gives me a ladder. Alrighty. No, I'm pushing to 40. I'm sorry. I'm going to push it to 40. I don't care. I'll add in an... We'll go shorter with the next mod. I need to push to 40, please. Gotta push to 40. Gotta push to 40 here. There we go. We're like one floor away. Let me get 5 pieces of iron and then I'll be happy and I'll switch and we'll add in another mod. That's it. That's it. I will be so sad if this appears in the dark and I can't get it. And I don't see it. It's right there. There we go. Okay, 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 okay. Give me the iron. Oh, and there's a frozen tear. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of our stone too. There's our 1 piece of iron. There's a frozen tear. Let's see. I'm gonna reset 40 quickly for 5 pieces of iron, and then we'll go from there. Okay. 40. Down we go. Okay, we found another ladder, so I'll go down that one. We're at 4 pieces. We just need 1 more. Give me 1 more thing of iron, please. Okay, got it. And level 2. Alrighty, alrighty. Here we go. Sleeping. Are the frozen tears from this? Yeah, the frozen tears are in the... Yeah. Did you not know that's what my frozen tear things are from? Okay. New mod adding in now. Oh, I don't want my live split one to be pulled up. Thank you, though. Okay, number 9. Okay, let's see if this one works. Reopening it back in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I looked. Uh-oh, I looked. Uh-oh, I looked. It says Devin fishing on it. Oh, no. It seems like we might have to go fishing. For anyone watching this at a later date, this is, Devin is one of my moderators, and he made me specifically a mod for this. So we'll see how this goes. Alrighty, here we are. Well, this one is entitled Devin Fishing, so I think that's what number 9 might be. Might have to do a little bit of fishing here. My contacts are blurry. Wait, Cody, you've never played Stardew? Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Fishing. Yes. Highly recommend Stardew. Love it. I mean, that's true. Proves you might not have any idea what's going on stream in terms of the game, but you still have a good time, right? I got the bat wings. Okay, this is for a bundle. That's for a bundle. I'm gonna get the iron bar. It is raining again. I say that we make our way back over to the mines there, because we're gonna need it. I'm just gonna take this with us, and I'm gonna take the bombs, and we're just gonna go crazy. We're gonna make a bunch of bombs. There's our bunch of bombs. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Timer, thank you for reminding me. It's fine. And let's go to the mines. Oh my gosh, look at the cabins. This one looks like Emily's. Like little crystal thing. Okay, here we go. We did it, Joe. We got the timer started again. Yes. Oh, I haven't even seen what Linus looks like yet. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty. I need some gold. I need some gold, I need some more bat wings, and then I need a solar essence. Or a void essence, one of the two. But it looks to be like a really good luck day. So I'm hoping that we get some good stuff here. Give me the ladder. Give me the ladder. Okay, I can't get the ladder from that. Cool, ladder, nice. Give me more of these. There's a free ladder. That's fine. A double free ladder. I want to go over here, see if we can check these crates real fast. You never know what you can get. Apparently you can get stone. Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. We got it. We got it. Gonna quickly do that. Oh, there it is. There's the ladder. Thank you. Look for a freebie first, then we do a little bombing. I don't see it. Nothing. Gonna drop that there. There's the ladder. Goes a lot faster when we have bombs. Let's do this here. Let's do that there. I do want that lovely little bat to wake up here. There it is. Let me get the bat real fast because I need the bat wings. Come here, bat. Come on. Come fight me. Got it. Come on. There we go. Our one thing of bat wings. I don't need this. Well, I have a frozen tier right now. I have a frozen tier back at home. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Next floor. Bombing. There we go. Again, this moves a lot faster when you have bombs on you. And I love it. Seems like there is a bat somewhere. Please come at me, bat. Give me more of this so I can make more bombs. Thank you for the bat wings, my good sir. Okay, it wouldn't let me place a bomb there for whatever reason. It's fine. There's our lovely ladder. Give me the coal there. And away we go. That seems like a good place to bomb. Oh, there's a free one down here. Never mind. Cool. Now we're looking. Now we are looking. I already have a amethyst back at home, so I'm not going to pick that one up. Oh, I see a winter root there. Let me eat this horseradish because it's barely going to give me any energy to begin with. What else? Let's see. There's another bat thing over there. I'm just going to drop this here. Give me the bat, please. I think I have 4 bat wings at home. I can't remember how many, but that's okay. I am going to collect all that, and we can make some more bombs on these next levels here. Snow boots. You know me. I struggle. So, let's take as much protection as we can get. Alrighty. I'm going to move these to an area where they can drop me a ladder. It did not. Darn. Darn it. I have not seen a ghost yet either. But if we could, like, get a ghost so that I could, like, murder it, that would be great. You know. Just a simple little murder moment of a ghost. Oh, there it is. Speak of the ghost. I should be able to kill it faster with this forest sword. Eat the cave carrots. The ghosts are already dead. That is, I mean, you are not wrong. The ghost is already dead. Oh, and a bat infestation. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, there's our solar essence. Come on, bats, make your appearance now. Thank you. Get the bats. We're already going to have to add in the next mod soon. Okay, I have enough bat wings. We're running to the end. See us. Gotta go by. Gotta go by. Okay, I hope. Yep, I was gonna say, I hope one of them gives me the ladder here. Drop that there. Grab me more bombs. Beautiful. Make it to the next level of flooring here. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're adding in a new mod every 10 minutes here. And I'm trying to complete as much of the community center as I can in those, in the entirety of today's stream. This sucks because there's no good place to put a bomb. Okay, let's see if we can make it to 60 and then we can pass out after that. We can pass out. Oh, there's a freebie over there. That's why. Oh, cool. It's right there. Sick. Love that for me. See if it'll drop me a ladder here. So I don't have to go and find it. It did. Let's go. GG's. This is the floor that's gonna suck. And I will happily pass out after I get a ladder on this floor. And then we'll add in the new one. In the new mod after. Alrighty, I don't need like 3 mobs going after me at once, please. Alrighty, kill the bat at least. Get rid of the ghost. Okay, down here I can bomb. This looks like a good bombing spot. Right there. I want to bomb right in the middle. There we go. Okay, the ghost got hit by that too. Love that. Okay. If we could find the ladder, that would be so nice right now. And then we'll pass out. Okay, ghost. I've had enough. Oh, it gave me gold too. What do I get rid of? Let me eat these salmon berries real fast. Let me eat these salmon berries real fast. Get the gold pieces. We have 3 pieces of gold. 3 pieces of gold. I am going to quickly run over here so that I can drop that. And hopefully we could get a ladder, but we did not get a ladder from any of that. Please give me a ladder. I have not seen a ladder yet thus far. I don't have enough to make more bombs, so I literally have to keep hitting rocks until we get the ladder now. This floor sucks. This floor simply sucks. I have a leak. I can eat that. Jeez. Okay, as soon as we get to 60, I'm gonna pass out. Please give me a ladder, Pat. No. No, no. Ladder, please show up. And if you can see a ladder and I can't see a ladder, please let me know. Because it's gonna pain me to have to hit all these rocks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The spiral ones are the absolute worst. I'm sorry. They are truly just trash. Okay, I got one more piece of food left. I'm running to the center. We're running to the center. See if we can get some extra food. Slash, let's see if these bats will drop one. They did not, but they did drop a really big bomb. Give me that bomb. I'm gonna drop it over here. And we're gonna hope that that hits some stuff. It did! It gave us our ladder, thank God. Okay, gave us that. I'm gonna get rid of this. Give me the glow ring. Shift, get that. I don't really care for the magnet ring. I just don't want to die here. We found the ladder finally. Just don't kill me. 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 Okay, passing out. Passing out, then we add in the new, what's it called? We add in the new mod. And then I'm legitimately sleeping all the way until summer. Okay. Um, 10. Oh. 10. There we go. Back in. Add 2, and then you can do, oh, I can do 15 minutes. Ah, smart. Thank you. Let's do that. Because I was over on this one. Here's number 11, too. We'll see what this adds in. We got a double mod out here. We got a double mod out here. I think the only days where I'm going to go into the town is not town. I'm gonna just leave on Fridays and on Sundays to check the traveling cart. So we're gonna cool it with the mines for a bit. Alrighty. I've got like an hour left. An hour left or so here. And we're gonna hope that this turns out. No, I've not fished yet. That is why. Timer. I'm still loading in. I'm not gonna start the timer until I load in. Because it's gonna take forever. And I added in 2. So we're gonna go all the way until 1:30 now. So okay. I have a bunch of stuff in my inventory. I'm gonna go check the traveling cart. We'll do that. I'm gonna sell some stuff too. I didn't need to pick up that. Give me this. Gonna sell that. Put that back in my inventory. Sell this. I can sell half of those. Give me the frozen geodes. I don't need the jade for anything right now. And we'll sell all of this right here, except for that. And we'll see where this goes. Ryder, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Welcome back on into the Loser Club for 7 months. and enjoy your lurk. Okay. Okay. I don't need any of that for the community center. I could use a pufferfish, but that's an expensive pufferfish, so I don't want it. I'm going to sleep until Sunday. We're just going to track the traveling cart, and then we sleep until summer. Let's at least finish the crafts room and a couple of the bundles in the other one. Oh, I forgot that I also need to be watering my strawberries because I purposely bought strawberries and then I haven't done anything with them. Oops. Yeah, I don't think that's right, Jake, either. I'm going up here. Gotta go back up to the top of the farm because I need to water. We need to water strawberries. It's kind of crucial. To at least get one harvest of strawberries here. These cabins are really cute. The cabins are really cute. I will say that the actual Stardew, like the starting home, is not great. But I would say that the rest of it is cute. Radish salad. Don't need that. I am gonna head down to the traveling cart. We do have quite a bit of money now, so we should be pretty good if we see something that we could use. Interesting to have a fireplace in the trailer. Yeah. I like the cabin with the duck thing on top. The duck thing is actually the like from the playground in Stardew Valley. There's like that little duck thing. I already have the cave carrot. A large egg I'll take. No. Cool. Alrighty. I watered. I gotta go back up and water some more for the strawberries, and then we keep sleeping until Friday. Water, sleep, Friday, get to summer. I feel like I tried something. I tried this similarly before, where I tried to complete the community center in one entire stream, and I feel like I got to the same point too because I was too caught up on different things. We could use some rain though. There's at least our strawberry harvest. We'll have a little bit of money here going into summer. And then I will plant like every crop, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of fishing in summertime. Radish salad, not one that we need. Oh, lost out on water. Cool. I really want to see you try a full CC run again. Well, the last time I did a full CC run was on my, when was it? Was it on my 1-year stream? How many bundles are in the CC? Quite a few. Okay, traveling cart day again. Oh yeah, because it took me like 6 hours, right? Yeah. Because I really didn't know what I was doing at that point. But I would be willing to try it again. Absolutely. Legion, hello, welcome on in. Okay, last two of the season. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need a poppy seed muffin. I could actually use a fried egg, so I will take that. And we'll move on. Peyton, we've actually thought about that, of like doing that, but each person does a certain bundle and we just pass the file on to each person. Like a relay. Kind of thing. Okay, tomorrow it's gonna rain. Here's all my strawberries. They don't have enough time to grow some more. Go to sleep. I'll sell my strawberries tomorrow. Omelet. I don't need an omelet. I will collect these last ones. I'm just going to go down to the traveling cart. I'm going to sell these strawberries real fast. Sell all this. Thank you. Give me this. I'm going to sell all those daffodils. I'm going to sell this extra stuff. Going to sell this. Okay, cool. Gonna check my mail. That's perfect going into summer here, because we are going to need some more crops here in summertime. Alrighty. Beautiful. Like that Pokemon thing Josh did? Kind of. Yes. Okay. Grape I will get in just a second. We could buy a crayfish to finish parts of that bundle. Let's do it. We should also get money from the strawberries, so I think it might be different. Okay. Okay. We've got a little bit of time until we add in the next mod here, so hopefully we can get some stuff that we need to get done as much as we can. I might try and do a little bit of fishing while we wait, actually. But I need to get up to the top of the farm and prep my, like, plots here. Give me this. Get rid of those. Give me this, give me that. Oh, see what I should have done from the mines is what I should have done is I should have gotten some sprinklers going. Because then I could just sleep for forever. However, I did not do that, so oops. I'm just gonna grab one of each for the community center that I'm gonna need. And also get some other things else going on here. What's up, Bruce? Hello. I'm gonna chop down some trees, and then maybe I'm gonna try and catch the wood skip in the center pond. That's probably gonna be the only like little bit of fishing that I'll probably do. Just because there is... Otherwise, it's gonna be a tough time. Devin, what the fuck? Hang on. Hold up. Did y'all hear that? Let's try again. I'm not fishing anymore. It's a fucking cow sound. What in the world did you do to the poor cow that we ended up with that? Alrighty, I don't think I can donate though. I can donate this. I can't donate the other one yet. Okay. Jeez. I'll come back for those two there. Goodness. Alrighty. Have you ever seen those TikToks? No. Which I think that makes it even better that I haven't seen those. I was not expecting that. I literally thought that that was not going to result in that, but okay. I'm going to drop this off in the community center, go grab the seeds, and then we sleep. Okay. This is for the animal bundle here. This is for the crab pot. Oh, I forgot to drop this off in the winter foraging. But we'll do that when we drop off the summer stuff at another date. Put that in here, put that in here, and then we finish another one there. Cool. Small magnet ring, great. Run. We have the bulletin board now. So now I can donate that egg and the aquamarine and all that lovely stuff too. I'm gonna quickly go and get the seeds that we need, and then we'll finish up that little bit of forage. Gotta quick check the trash, you never know. Never know, right? Okay. I'm going to take a melon seed, a tomato seed, blueberry seed, a pepper seed. I'm going to make more inventory space by doing that. I don't need wheat. I don't need a spangle. I do need a corn. I will need a sunflower. And instead I'm gonna just buy a bunch of melons. And some more blueberries. Why not? And let's run. Run home. What a time to be alive when we can witness Strawdew Valley and have a man snoring like a cow as the fishing sound. Hey, you're not wrong. I'll be back for those 2 forage items tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Almost perfect amount of spots. I can sell the extras of these. And we are good to go. The fishing sound is different now. I was away. Yes, the fishing sound is different now. It is now a cow mooing. So, we'll see. And it is now time for us to add the next mod in here. It's a man snoring? It's not a cow? Are you trying to tell me that that was not a cow? Alrighty, here's number 12. Adding in number 12th mod of the night. It is not a cow? It's not a cow? That's a man snoring? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. It's a snore? Devin, you did not put a snore into my game. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, fine. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. Loading back in. Here we go. You have to fish again now. Okay. I'll look. Can we hear it again? Yes, we can hear it again. I'll go in and we can hear it again. As much as part of this stream is to finish as much of the community center as I can with all these mods, it's also to have a good time. So we gotta look at the mods. Okay, that Smappy did not like that one. Smappy said, no. Whatever you just put in, not good. Not good. Number 12 is not great. There we go. Alrighty. Smappy be like, ugh, I have to load it. Yeah, Smappy's like, oh, I have to load another mod for you? What am I, right? That's what Smappy is. That's the voice that I give Smappy in my head. Alrighty. I'm not going to click off screen at all. I clicked off screen once and it got mad at me, so. Here we are. Do you remember the TikTok I sent you the other day? I do not. I will be honest with you. I have no recollection of that TikTok. Loading in. I haven't touched anything. Haven't touched anything. Okay. Here we go. I will do one attempt at fishing here. In just a second, I have to go to the bus stop to collect those forage items, though. Because I think I see another mod, too. Welcome to the mod of Pam Bus. This is what it is. Yes, that is a TV remote in her back pocket right there. This is Pam Bus, everybody. See you later, Pam. I will do one attempt at fishing here real fast. One more just for funsies. Any day now. Jeez, okay. No, I stopped it. I stopped it so that we could hear it. I wanted it to be loud enough, Jake. That's why. How was that a snore? I don't know. It is a snore, apparently. Okay. It is still radish salad tomorrow. Tomorrow is a rain day, so we should be good. Keep sleeping. Hi, Drew. Welcome on in. Okay, today I am headed. I just want to check the bus stop real fast, and then I gotta go check the traveling cart. Yes. Okay, there's the last summer foraging one, so we'll drop those off today too. Yes, there are like Pams in all the windows as well. I'm gonna drop this in here. I just want to try this because I don't know what mod we added in is the problem. I know that there's a Joja Cola one, so that's why I was attempting to do it. I was attempting a Joja Cola one because I know that there's a Joja Cola one in the near future. Okay. Can we check out Morris at some point? What do you mean? If you added the JoJo? No. I did not add that one. I didn't add any more character changing ones because it would affect the Strawdew Valley one. Stuffing tulip, Lincod, Lober. We can finish that. Mr. Lobster. And we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to go quickly drop these off at the community center. We will have completed 3, 4. Okay. Spring foraging, spring crops, summer foraging, crab pot. We will have also finished the one in the boiler room. So 5 little bundles. So not too bad. We need to see Straw Gunther. Okay. I will make an exception to go see Straw Gunther. Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm dropping things off first. Okay, there's the end of the crab pot bundle. Don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't need that reward. Thank you, though. I want to drop this off. And I want, where's the egg? Chef's bundle. Here you go. To the crafts room. I believe we have another bundle over there now, too. So this is another one, too. So on top of the ones we have already completed, we now have an extra bundle. You might be wondering, Lee, what is that? It's the kitchen. It's right over here. It's behind my head, and you can't really see it. I'll show you. Here's one. It's entitled The Inedible One. Bug State, Oil of Garlic, and that one. Here's another one, Fresh Picked Bundle, which we do need the radish salad for, so that's going to be unfortunate, or the coleslaw. We probably won't be able to complete too much of that bundle just in that, but just know that I added in another mod to add in an extra bundle in there. So. Alrighty, we can go and look at Straw Gunther. Straw Gunther out here. Here he is. He's like a cute little red and oh, you can't see him. He's behind my head. I'll move my camera. There you go. He's right here. He's right here with the little hat. He's got a cute little blue hat on. And then we saw his talking profile? Okay, good. Cool, I gotta run home. Bye! Because it's already gonna be time to get another one. Add another mod in just a second. Okay. Got a blast! Gotta go! I'm gonna sell these summer foraging seeds, and then we're just gonna wait until our crops grow and keep sleeping. Keep watering and sleeping, that's all. Alrighty, here's Mr. Morris again in the shipping bin as well. So Dewey, thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it. We're getting good rain days though, so I will take that. I will absolutely take that because it looks like it's going to be another rainstorm tomorrow. Of course, we do have to go on the actual rain day itself because it is a traveling cart day, so. Great. Love it for me. Baked fish. Traveling merchant is in town. I'm running to the traveling merchant, and we'll see what we can do. What we can buy to help us out here. See what we can do. What can we buy from the traveling cart? See you, Devin. Have a good one. Don't need that. I could use the honey. What if we do the honey? That's for the artisan bundle. And we should be good there. We should be good there. And now we sleep. Because tomorrow is also a thunderstorm day. And then hopefully we can get some more crops going in a little bit. Not crops going, but hopefully they'll be ready to harvest in a little bit, is what I mean. Oh, and it's already time for me to add in another mod. I'm going to sleep another day, and then, because it's raining, and here we go. It is another mod time. 13. Lucky number 13 going in. We'll see where this lands us. Check your own lead time. Okay, I can't because all this is working right now. Oh, okay, I see what this next mod is, so I'm gonna have to go to the mines again. So on our next really good luck day, I'll go to the mines here. $15 days, 21 hours. That's so much I've been streaming since then. Jake, that means you have officially missed 9 hours of my stream. Is what that means. In the total of we've had that command, you have missed 9 hours of my streams. Okay. What the hell is going on? What's up, Kitty Diddy? We are adding in a new mod every 10 minutes of stream. That's what's going on. Okay, it is a good luck day, so we're gonna go to the mines here real fast. After I water all of these crops here. Oh, I could have used that speed grow. That's literally what I should have used. Thank you for the timer. I got it. I don't have any food on me except for this green algae, so I guess that's it. That's what we're taking to the mines with us. And whatever forage I can find on the way. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we got a grape. That's something. And a spiceberry. Oh, we got 2 spiceberries. We're good. Is Mariable Jody on this mod list to be added? No. I only went with... I couldn't. Oh, there's Linus. He looks like a noodle. Alrighty. It'll make more sense why I'm in the mines in a second. I added in this mod. If you look over to the right here, you can see that there's some interesting looking nodes here. If anyone wants to take a guess as to what these nodes are, well, they're pieces of cheese. That's what that is. It is straight cheese. They are cheese nodes. So that is why I'm in the mines right now, is because of the cheese nodes. To show off that mine. Did you need food? I did need food. And I will tell you that the cheese also gives me special buffs. So I'm gonna eat a piece of cheese here in a second. And I'm pretty sure that the cheese is like stackable in terms of the buffs. So after I kill these little guys here. And it also helps for the artisan bundle. So I have all of these extra perks here just for eating a goat cheese. So it's pretty great. It also makes me move quite a bit faster too. It helps out quite a little bit since we have a, what's it called, floor, this floor. Goodness. Alrighty. I wouldn't have been able to grab that anyways. Boom, boom. Okay. Got it. That's some good cheese. Yeah. That's some good cheese. Absolutely. So I have access to all this extra energy now. So we should hopefully be able to make it down pretty far into the mines. I want to finish the boiler room. So that would be preferred here. That is ideal of what I would like to do. I don't need that anymore. I'm coming down this way. There's the ladder. And the other thing is that the cheese will now sell for a whole lot more extra money as well. So it should be great. She do be cheesing. Absolutely. Absolutely, we do be cheesing. But it also helps us with our bundles, too. The only downside is that right now I don't have access to any bombs. So, we just have absolutely cracked energy. But I still have the pain of actually having to get down into the mines. The cheese is worth more cheddar? Yes. Yes. In other words, yes, it is worth more. I don't know if I'll be able to find a ladder under that, but who knows. Under the cheese mod nodes. We'll see. Okay, there it is. Let's see. See if we can get anything cool from over here too. It doesn't really look like it. I am gonna get rid of this. I will pick up any extra aquamarines. Give me more cheese. Like, I have 38 pieces of cheese. And that's gonna hopefully help me carry me into... It just gives me... Oh, and they stack. Okay, it looks like I will not be eating any more cheese here, besties, because they stack. So I'm going ultra fast, and it's very hard for me to control. I forgot about that. You are speed. Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem right now. Okay. Wee! Oh, okay, we just gotta make it down to 80. I just need like 2 more pieces of gold, and I need a, what's it called? We need a, the red one. What is it? The fire quartz. 5 more. Oh, I have such good luck buff right now, then. You besties. Cheese. Cheese is insane, because I gotta have good luck buff or something. Plus 5 luck. There's a freebie over here. Literally? There. That's why. Alrighty. We need gold. That's not cheese gold. And we need a fire quartz. Okay, I can't eat any more cheese, otherwise I will literally... Okay, there's gold. Okay, give me this. I'll eat this. I am going to collect the cheese, though, so I can sell it. We need the ladder. Unless there's a freebie ladder somewhere. There is a freebie ladder over here. Good to know. I will say that it is very hard to control. Okay, there's the ladder. I'm looking for a fire quartz if we can get one. I can't see one. I already have that mushroom. If we find a purple mushroom, that would be preferred too. No, do not leave the mines. No, thank you. Give us a fire quartz. This is very hard to control, besties. I'm not kidding. It's pretty pog because of the ladders spawning and things like that. I'm just gonna go and reset 80 a bunch of times. Here we go. And I missed, did I miss the last one? No, I'm right on time. I'm like 1 minute away. Okay. I have enough gold, so I literally just need this fire quartz to finish the boiler room. And that is my goal. And then I want to finish the crafts room before the end of stream. We're zooming. We are zooming so fast. Fire quartz, literally. The ladder's gonna be right there. Wow, it's almost as if I knew. There it is. Okay. What can I get rid of? I already have this winter root. Cool. Gotta go. Bye. We are running home. Running home. Running home. And then we add in another mod. Speed! You ever seen the real speed? Who is this? Oh, it's Abigail. Damn. Okay. Wow. Zoom. Actually, no, I can't complete it yet. I need to actually make the gold. I'm going so fast, it's hurting my eyes. Okay. Save one regular cheese, one of that cheese. Then we sell the aquamarine, we sell the goat cheese, we'll sell this cheese. I need 1 frozen geode, sell that. Cool. Give me the other gold, please. Let's make a gold bar. And let's see how much cheese we get. Okay. We now have over 100k just because of the cheese. So we can complete the vault room as well too. Out here. So we got it. Okay. Exit to desktop. So if you're looking for a good mod to add, highly recommend adding that one. I think it's like the cheesy mod. It's a little cringe, but it is what it is. Here's mod number 14 going in. I have no idea what this is. We'll see when it's going. Thanks, Baron. Welcome on in. Also, Melissa, hello. Welcome on in, too. Cheese and money we are. Hell yeah. A little bit more than I need. Yep. Oh, okay. For this next one, we're gonna take a stop into the bar. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'm just gonna keep watering really quickly because I would like to be able to finish the summer bundles. And all of that too. The summer crop bundles at least. Because it's gonna be tight. What if the buffs didn't go away? I'm gonna be struggling trying to water. Is what's gonna happen. I'm going to be struggling trying to water. Don't forget the timer. Yep. Once we load in. Once we load in. My Steam tells you you're playing Stardew Valley every time you reset, so literally every 10 minutes. Oh, I should have went offline for this. That would have been smarter. Who is this? Oh, Demetrius. Hello, Demetrius. Okay, give me the bats, please, Demetrius. I didn't even realize that was Demetrius. Demetrius is a full-on glass straw. Okay, the buffs are reset, thank God. I'm gonna water everything here. And then I'm going to run to the community center to bring as much as we can. He's a test tube science straw. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize that. Okay, cheese, goat cheese, this. Give me the hot pepper, give me the honey. We'll put that away. Let's go complete what we need to go complete. Oh, timer. Thank you. Thank you. I got it. I got it. I got it. I think we'll probably be able to add one more mod in for tonight. Probably going to be able to add in one more mod in for tonight. So let's see how much we can complete in the last 20 minutes here. Alrighty, we got some artisan stuff. This is honey, cheese, the summer crop. And then we'll go over here. The fishing is probably the worst. Field research, dye bundle. None of that. We can complete the boiler room here, and then I'll also do the vault. Now me trying to drop this gold ore in. There's our first bundle done. And of course it happens to be the boiler room. I'm gonna do the vault. Because as stated, some of these mods are going to dramatically help me, and some of them are going to hurt me. And 2 rooms done! That was my goal, was to have 2 rooms done. We did it. We did it, Joe. We did it. Okay, I'm headed home. I'm just gonna keep watering my crops here as fast as I can. Before the end of stream, please remind me that we need to go and check out the bar. And then I'm gonna, at the end of stream, I'm gonna go through the rest of the mods that we added in to catch the ones that we haven't been able to find. No, we need to go to the saloon by the end of stream. Alrighty, Cat Bus, which is not Cat Bus, it's Pam Bus. We can, I wonder. I wonder if we can take a trip via Pam Bus and get a cactus fruit. Because we still have the, not this one. The exotic foraging left. We still need one more. So what if we go to get a cactus fruit? We have the money for it. We just got to get to a day where we can do that. Will you do another stream and finish the community center? If you all would like me to finish the community center and continue to add mods, let me know. Either in the Discord or, you know, if this makes it on the YouTube comment section. Any of the above. I still have like 30 plus. I still have a bunch of more mods. So if y'alls are enjoying it, I will most certainly do it again. Hi Chris, welcome on in. Alrighty, there's more of this stuff here. I had gotten all the melons just for the money, and then I forgot about the cheese thing. That's for a corn. Okay, I can go and drop off the spring stuff. In the meantime, I'm also gonna quickly run to... Oh, I need some tools first. I need some tools first. I also talked about this at the start of stream. I successfully uploaded a video yesterday onto YouTube that it will be live on Saturday. So feel free. Okay, so this is at least for... That is at least for the community center. I can take the blackberry. It was a part of Monday's stream. Is what it was. Alrighty, let's go and finish the summer bundle here. Summer crops bundle. And then I'm gonna sleep all the way until fall. Oh no, not Monday, Sunday. Sorry. It was what we did on Sunday stream. Part of it. Should clarify. Boop, boop, boop. I can sell the rest of it. I have a sprinkler. That doesn't do much for me. Fall foraging. What if we... Okay, let's wait for Pam so I can complete another bundle within the crafts room here. And then we will... I can also go and check the traveling cart. And then we'll also go into the bar. We'll check out the bar. When video goes live, since the bot is messed up. Bestie, the bot is me. The bot is literally me. Okay, I'm running down to the bottom of the farm to get the traveling cart here. I wasn't gonna have enough, Jake. Oh, Jazz and Vincent. I don't know if you even saw them there really fast. Oops. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm gonna take a coleslaw because I can. I don't need a stir fry. I don't need that. I don't need any of the other stuff. The coleslaw I can actually use. I feel like I'm going so slow now after having been using the cheese from before. This is actually for the kitchen. It's called the Fresh Picked Bundle. So we can at least get that, get one of them. We're gonna do the desert and then I'll come back and we'll go to the bar and then we'll end the day and I'll add in one more mod and we'll do last 10 minutes out here. There's Pam, our bestie Pam. Speaking of which. Yep, I'm back in the saddle. I want to see Pam get on the Pam bus. Oh no, it didn't give us we didn't give us the straw. That's fine. Okay, I need a cactus fruit. We need a cactus fruit. Please give us a cactus fruit. There's so many coconuts. I just need a cactus fruit. Cactus fruit, cactus fruit. Okay, then we got one. Cool. Headed back now. Okay. Here we go. Yes, I will go in and take a look at Sandy, of course. Here's Sandy with her lovely hat. Like her lovely whatever this is. Oh, it's like a palm tree. Ah, that's kind of cute. Very nice. That's actually really cute. Okay, hopping back on the bus. Let's go check out the bar. Let's see if it worked. Let's go see if the one in the bar works. Okay, see, now I feel like I'm walking at normal pace. Before, I felt like I was even more painstakingly slow. Alrighty, 12. Alrighty, here comes Gus. I don't think I've gotten, was it one of these? I want to check and make sure I didn't get to this one, did I? No. Okay. Gus, you're who I need to talk to. Hello, Gus. Here's Gus. Okay. So there was a mod here that was gonna work with Gus. I'll save it for another time. It did not work. But that's okay. Not a big deal. I'm gonna quickly donate these and then we'll go home and then we'll add 10 minutes left to the timer. But yes, there was one for Gus. Autumn's Bounty. I'm gonna go over here. Fresh picked. We got one item in that new bundle in the kitchen. Because there's a kitchen bundle over here behind my head. And here we go. Please give Stardew Expanded a shot. It'd make for a wonderful video too. It's not that I won't give Stardew Valley Expanded a shot. It's like I have so many other things on my plate right now that I want to explore within Stardew Valley. Where Expanded has so much content within it that I'm like overwhelmed with content right now. Is essentially what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm selling these because who needs them? And then we'll keep that for the fall time. Okay. Yeah, we only had one gold melon. That's the thing. Okay. Last mod of the night here. Here we go. Mod number 16. Yes, we skipped over 15 because 15 did not work, apparently. I have before, Jake. I'm looking. Oh, there's another mod where we haven't been able to get. I see it. That we'll check it out more in the future. Good night, Rachel. Have a good rest of your evening. We got like 10 minutes to go. Oh, I got the spinning wheel of death here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Jeez. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Let's see if we can figure out what the last mod is, because I have no idea. We'll see if it even works. And time. Okay, there's a corn. I'm gonna sleep all the way until fall here. And hope for the best. Because then maybe we could also get the fall crops done? No. Well, maybe. I have a sprinkler now. And maybe we could finish the artisan bundle if I look into the back cave over here. So we could try. We could really try. Oh gosh, by all of the straws, I keep looking over where like the presence is. It's gonna like I can't even tell whose birthday it is. 27th, 28th, and 29th. Not 29th, the 1st. Not the 29th. The 29th in Stardew Valley does not exist. Okay, give me this. Give me the hoe. I'll take the watering thing too in just a second here. Boop, 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 boop. I just want one of each crop and then I'll quickly skedaddle there. So we're gonna go to Pierre's. I'm gonna go check over here and hopefully we got some the dreaded summer 29. Yep. Yep. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that forage right there. We got a cherry. We have an apricot. We got a peach. Incredible. We can finish the artisan bundle and then hopefully we can also finish our fall crops bundle if we speed it up. Okay, I'm gonna look around town to see what mods we've missed. If there's anything that we've really truly missed. Got the Pam bus. We found the Devon fishing sound. We found obviously the straws. We found the cheese mod. There's a couple of them that didn't work, so it might be another one that didn't work during this one. Let's see. We can now go and finish this bundle. We can finish the artisan bundle. Fall crops, animal bundle. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's grab our fall seeds, and then we'll just sleep until close to the end of fall, and then we'll collect all of it, and then we'll speed into winter, and then hopefully we can finish the winter foraging bundle. And maybe some other stuff. There goes Shane. Here comes Gus. I'm gonna check on how much wood I have too. You know what? I'm gonna go up to Robin's. Right after this, I'm gonna go up to Robin so I can finish the construction bundle. Oh, except for my axe. Shoot. That's the one thing I don't have. Eggplant, yam. I don't need anything else. Cool. I don't have time for the construction bundle. That's fine. Not a big deal. Yeah, I don't have time for the construction bundle. Because I don't even think I have enough copper ore. Let's see if we can try and finish this one. Here, the fall crops bundle. Yeah, I don't have enough copper ore. Oops. Let's sleep. And then we'll also try and get all the foraging stuff too. The fall foraging stuff at the end of the season here. I think we just have to go until like the 14th or something along those lines. If I remember correctly. I think it might be the 14th. So. We shall see. I'm just going to speed very, very quickly. Speed very, very quickly. And then I think we do like one traveling cart check left. And then we review everything that we've done. And then I'll go over the mods that we may have missed. Because again, I didn't click into any of those folders to check what they were. So there's that. Okay, one more day. How come Gus gets it going at 8:50 but not us? You know, it's like at the grocery store. How grandparents can go in early. That's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna run down to the I'm just gonna drop that there. I'm gonna run down to the what's it called? Cart. The traveling cart. I'm also gonna search for fall foraging here. You need 10 minutes of private shopping time. I think so. I think that's probably what it is. You know how during the pandemic, you know, everybody just let the old people go in first into the shopping mart. That's what it is. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Ancient fruit seeds. Finally a pufferfish. Wow, incredible. A large goat milk. Give me that. Because I never know when we're going to see that again. And give me a pufferfish. Sure. Let's go. Okay. Pretty good. I'm actually fairly impressed with what we got down. And then I'll check the bus stop one last time to see if I can finish the fall foraging bundle. And then after that, I'm pretty happy with that. My goal was 2 bundles. And we've made pretty good decent on both the crafts room and the pantry bundle. So. And I finished all the mining stuff, so. Haha, there you go. And I I'm not really good at the vines, so here's the fall. Incredible. There's a large goat milk. We got ourselves a little bee house. I'll be back to drop that off. Let's put not the night fishing, the specialty bundle. And let's do let's go over here. And then we'll take a peek at the mods that we missed in this one. And then we'll go see if we can go find them. We have a minute left, truly, on our timer. Oh, I don't think we have a plum or a hazelnut over here, do we? We don't. Oh, boo. Let me go check the left-hand side of the farm real fast. Just to see if we can finish that, that fall foraging bundle. Oh, there's a purple mushroom over here. I don't think there is there? We check the backwoods. There's a mushroom. But none of the other ones. You know what? That's honestly okay. That is honestly okay. Because we finished the artisan bundle, which is a really tricky bundle, and I'm very happy with that. As well as we finished some other really good ones. Oh, wait. Hold up. Plum? Can we find a hazelnut? Let's loop around town, see if we can find it. Clutch it out for the rest of this stream. Can we do it? We might not be able to. So I don't want to get my hopes up. Because I don't think we're going to find a hazelnut back here. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll take it. We did find a plum. We're just missing the hazelnut for the fall stuff. So not bad. We can't do it. Because it's about to be 2:15. I'm going to drop these off. And then that'll be it. Boop, boop. Yep, just missing that hazelnut for that bundle. But we have 2 fully completed rooms, everyone. We have the vault room completely finished. We have the boiler room completely finished. I would say that the bulletin bundle and the fish tank bundle are probably the least finished. But we're literally pretty close to finishing the pantry bundle. We just need like the animals and the quality crops. And then we need the winter foraging and the construction bundle in this one. So I'm pretty proud of us for that. Pretty proud of us for that. Hell yeah. Okay. Let me see what mods we missed here. Or not missed, but which mods are in my game that I have not seen yet. Okay, so we got number 1. Number 1 was the Strawdew Valley. Number 2 was Morris. Number 5 was, number 5 was the fish to processor one, which we didn't really get to play around with. But it's this where you can take the fish that you catch and you can put it into this little like recycler bin and it gives you seeds. I thought that one was pretty cool. Number 6 is a mod entitled Crop Beasts. So we missed that mod because we didn't get any large crops, essentially. It's kind of hard to take a look at, which I think we should be able to take a look at that one if we do a second version of this. So if you want to see me do this again, let me know. Hee hee. It's called Crop Beasts. So essentially, crops can turn into beasts. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. 7 was the more bundle. So if you see in the back, there's that kitchen bundle there. 8 was the house mod, the hippie house, the trailer. 9 was Devin's fishing sound. 10, 10 is a mod called Farm Anywhere. So if we take a look here, I should be able to farm here. So if I wanted to just have all my crops be right here, I could have them be right here. But obviously, if I didn't know I had access to that one, I wouldn't have known. So there you go. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool mod. Number 11. Number 11 was the Pam bus. Number 12. Ooh. I don't know what this one is. It's entitled Community Kitchen. I think the community kitchen is, once I finish the community center kitchen room, you can use it as like an actual kitchen. So there's that. Oh, here comes Alex. Number 13 was the cheese one in the mines. Number 14, and I'll show you the pictures for this one. Here it is. This one did not work. This was the Gus one. It turns Gus into Mario. So it's pretty good. But this one that was obviously not working because we had the Strawdew Valley one. So I'll have to go back through and check it out. Does it let you farm on the sidewalks? No. Extra kitchen bundle? Yes. That one is called, I think, More Bundles or something along those lines. And then where's, oh, not that one. Those are the mods that I still have left. And then the last one that we just added, 16. Ah, okay. So, you know what? Let's skip to a rain day here real fast, and we'll check out the rain one. Let's skip to a rain day real fast, and then we'll stop. Rain day, rain day, rain day. Okay, one more day. Here we go. This is a rain day. So if we go outside here on this rain day, I believe... Except it's not even raining. Oh, it's just thunderstorming. There's nothing falling from the sky right now, and I don't know why. Cool. I'm gonna pick up that hazelnut. So I have, it's a mod that changes the rain of like what the rain looks like. Mod go bonk. Mod did go bonk. But it's a mod that like essentially changes what the rain looks like. Give me that hazelnut so I don't lose it for next time. But there we go. Alrighty. So those were all the mods that we added in to Stardew Valley here. We completed 2 bundles, which was the goal, and I'm very proud of that. So, yeah. So again, if you liked this style of video / stream, please make sure to let me know in either the Discord or in the comments. Thanks. Peace. How's that for a YouTube outro, everybody? How was that for a little YouTube intro? So we're gonna try that. From now on Wednesdays, I'm gonna do like a little a YouTube specific content stream of sorts. Because as I've talked about on stream before, one of my goals was just in general for this year of 2022 was to upload more videos onto YouTube. And I was, right before this, like last week, I was kind of not happy with where a lot of my content was. And so I wanted to make a little change in that. So if you see me do some more weird ideas in the near future, that is because of that. So I hope you all had a really good time, because I generally had a really good time. And I'm just really happy with where I'm at right now. Once again, I'm gonna quickly see who we can go and raid here real fast. Who is currently live? Baburos, thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it. Welcome back on into Lava Loser Club for 3 months. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This song is a 10 out of 10 banger. Thank you, Andy. Hello. Thank you, pals. Thank you, pals. I'm trying to think of which one of our friends we haven't raided. It's been a while since we raided. Let us raid the one and only Miss Sid. No problem, big dog. Great stream. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, and I have a resub for Sid, so we'll go and raid Sid. If you do not know Sid, Sid is one of my really good friends, an incredible streamer, and incredibly kind. So we're going to go and raid Sid out here. Sid is currently playing Junimo Kart. She is playing Stardew Valley. So I would highly recommend y'all stick around for the raid out here. Make sure to go and copy and paste that lovely raid message out here. The first one is, of course, for subscribers, and the second one is for followers, because regardless, we love to go and spread the love onto our friends, because that's truly what raids and everything else is about, is spreading love. So I will be live again tomorrow. I'm live, for anyone that is new here, I'm live on Sundays and Mondays, and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Sundays is 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. However, I will let you know that I will be live on Tuesday next week. However, I probably won't look like myself on Tuesday. So I'll leave that there. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Again, make sure to copy and paste that lovely raid message, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Goodbye. Tuesday. Is Tuesday the stream? Maybe. In a way. Bye.